Flosstube, it's Liz from Liz Vista's Flosstube. I'm going to do a quick video, I hope it's quick, on how I grade my fabric. And I use heat erase pens that I got from Amazon. My hair is crazy right now. I really need a shower. Sorry. Oh, it's not too bad. I think it was just sticking up funny. But so this is how I grade my fabric, and I use these heat erase pens. I got them from Amazon. So I got a set that had like the pens and then a bunch of refills in 4 or 5 different colors. And I went through enough of those refills that I needed more refills. But I didn't want to get the whole set with the pens because I still have the pens. So I got from a different company just the refills. So I like these. They're just like gel pens, except they're heat erase. I use Aida, almost exclusively 18 count Aida now. And these are real nice. They go in the fabric, like in the lines of the fabric, they stay in there pretty easily. So I realized I'm uploading my video from yesterday, and I think I forgot to put in the picture of the pattern I'm going to do for this cross stitch camp. So I'm going to show you how I graded my fabric for that. And this is the pattern. I can't think of what it was called. I was trying to find a monochrome pattern, and they're almost all Quakers. If you find a single color pattern, they're usually Quakers. And I saw this one and I thought, this is it. So starting February 1st, you submit your proof that you're starting, and you just stitch along and hopefully get it done before the end of February. And it's not too big of a pattern. It's a little bigger than I thought it was. It's 193 by 251. The stitched area is like 10 by 13. So it's a little big, but it'll work. So what you're gonna need is, I use an app on my iPhone. It's called X Stitch Calculator, and I'll insert a picture of my apps that I use for cross stitch. It's just a screen cap of my phone, and it's the first one. And then I'll show a screen cap of this. Basically, you put in your stitch count, what size fabric, if you're going over 1 thread or 2 threads. For like, if you're doing linen, you would put in 2, what size border you want, and then it tells you the stitched area and the fabric size, and it even tells you what needle it recommends. But so that I just screen capped and put in there on my little project thing. So you need that measurement, and then you need I use Pattern Keeper, so you can use your printed up PDF. I'm going to show this just because I think so this is how you know how to make your grid. So I go to the bottom corner and it tells you what your sizes are on this grid that it gives you. So this one is 251 by 193. Technically, the stitch count that it gives you on this PDF is the actual stitching count, and not this extra bit that they put on the actual PDF. So I changed it to what it shows on the PDF. So it's 251 by 193. That way you can get an idea of how you need to make your grid. So after you know your size, oh, this is the color I'm using. It is the Colaris 4522. And I'm in my little girl's room, so the lighting is not very good, but it's kind of like purple and brown and dark gray. I just thought it would be really pretty. And then I use it's just one of the blue hanging file folders. It's easier to grid if you have something dark behind your fabric so you can see the holes. So I use just this. So you need to cut your fabric to size and then find the middle. And I'm going to move my camera so I'm gonna try to aim my camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully it works. Like I said, this is my little girl's room. I don't know if this little rolling cart is gonna be high enough. I don't know. We're gonna try it. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna probably show you. This is my fabric. This is just a cutting mat that I mounted. I used furniture tacks to tack it down to a folding table. So I have a cutting table and that I can fold up and put off to the side. So this is a cutting mat. So I'm gonna try to do this. I'll probably have to stop the video after each step. So it'll be kind of choppy, but hopefully it won't be too bad. I'll probably have to grab another pen at some point because this is almost out of ink. That's one thing, you can see how fast the ink goes down in these. So I try to find, there's, like I said, there's 4 or 5 colors. I think there's black, white, purple, pink, 4 colors I think. So I try to find one that will go so it shows up on the fabric, but it doesn't distract from my stitching. So since this is going to be a dark stitch, I'm going to use the black. On some of my projects, like my geisha girl, I used a pink because it's a pink fabric. I don't know. So here we go. So first thing you do is you find the middle of your fabric. Now I cut this fabric a little bigger than what I actually need, which is fine. This is from that big pack that I got from Amazon. So you fold it in half, and then you fold that in half to get your middle. And then I just pinch it really good. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Obviously, iron this before you do your heat erase pens. Because if you wait until after, when you iron, you're going to erase all the work you just did. So there's my pinched middle, and then real quick, I grab my pen and I mark where that's at. So there's my middle. So then, easy enough, you just go, and I know I'm going to have at least a 3-inch border, so I don't have to go all the way to the edge. Turn it around so you can see this. And then I turn it this way. Turn it this way. Now, there is your made cross. Now you get the fun of counting to 10 a million times. So like I said, with my pattern, it is, the grid on here is 251 by 190. So I'm going to make it so 240. Okay, we're just going to count a bunch until we get close to the end. So what you do is you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I just make a little line, and then I just do that all the way down. sometimes if I blink, like if I don't blink enough, my eyes get dry and then it's like I lose count. 2. So basically, you count until you get to however much you need for half. And then you spin it and do 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, all the way down again. So, I'm just going to keep going and then I will make this fast forward. So this is 100 and 20. And then we do it again. So that's 110. Okay, so I just make a longer line so I know that that's 100. So 100, 200, 20, 40, and I need 251, I think I said. So that's technically 5 past, but we're not going to do that. I have to pick which side I want to be the top. I'm going to make this the top. So I'm just going to do a 10 up here. Oops. So this I know is my top. And then I'll write top. Because you don't want to do, like if it's 150, or 250 would be 125, but you don't want 5 up here because then when you look at your grid on Pattern Keeper, it's off. So now this is 130, 230, 240, 250. But you just have to make sure you mark which is the top so you know which way you're counting. So now I turn it and I do the same thing on these lines. On this side is 193. So we do it again. Count to 10. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, which is fine. So this will be the edge. So that's 9, 3, 6, 9. Yeah. So we turn it around and we do 10 on this side. that's 90, so this is 100. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's 190. And then we're gonna add 3. 1, 2, 3. And that is our edge. Because I need 193 this way. And then this one is 251. So that's 250. We're just gonna call that good. So I'm going to go grab another pen because I know this is gonna run out of ink. I will be right back and I will show you how I draw the actual grid. Okay, so here is my bag of refills. So they give you a lot because like I said, you can watch, especially if you have a big project, you can watch this ink go down as you do your lines. So simple, just pick whichever color. Like I said, there's black, white, purple, and pink. So I'm just gonna grab another black one. They each come with this little cap, and it just protects the little nub. So you just take that off and throw it away. I don't quite need it yet, so I'm just gonna put it down right here. Okay, so I start with the shorter sides, the shorter lines first. And then I just go and go across. And you just, on Aida, this is really nice because you can just keep your pen in that groove. So I know this is where I'm stopping because this is my edge. If I go past, it's fine. You don't want to get too cocky because that's when your pen skips over. On to the next row, and you don't want it to. So you think, oh, I'm doing really good, I can go a little faster. Don't. So there's the bottom half, and then I just go and I do the same thing at the top. And I was going to say something, but if I say it, I'll jinx myself. So I'm not going to say it. See, now look. Look how much farther down it was up here. Just in those few lines, it's gone down that much. So you can really watch the ink just go. It's crazy. The nice thing about this is if you have black fabric, you can use the white ink and it shows up. So that's really nice. And the other nice thing is if you screw up and it's like a big screw up, I will take it into the bathroom and I just use the hair dryer and warm it up and the ink disappears. I've only had to do that for a screw up once, but after I'm done with a certain portion of a chart, if I want to see what it looks like without the grid lines, I'll take it in there and erase the grid lines over what I've done. So I just turned it around and I'm taking the lines the rest of the way across. So really, the counting to 10 is the most time consuming part. This doesn't take any time at all. There we go. So you just keep going. So there's the horizontal lines. Easy enough, only took probably 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Then you just turn and go the other way. But I know I'm gonna run out of ink, so I'm just, might as well just wait until it dies. It's gonna die in a second. So then I just do the same thing from the middle out, and then I turn it and do the other side. But now you know right where to stop because you've got your line here. Yep, it just stopped. Easy enough. Just take the refill out, put it in, screw on the new. And there you go. When you put a new one in, sometimes it takes a second for it to start. There we go. Now, like I said, I have that blue folder. That makes it so I can see the holes easier. Since I'm using my cutting mat, it's actually showing up pretty good. But like if you have a light table, you might not be able to see the holes to count. That's all thing you need for is to count. You guys, this is like perfect grid, and it's, I knew I shouldn't have said anything. I got ahead of myself. I was gonna say this is perfect grid. I haven't had a single mistake, and as I was saying it, it skipped to the next line. It's fine. Just go back to the line you're supposed to be on. Dang, I jinxed myself. So there's half. Spin it and do the other side. Over like this. Skipped. at that. Perfect grid. I only skipped twice, right there and right there. So that's it. That took 9 minutes, less than 9 minutes to draw the actual lines. It probably took, what, 5 minutes to do the counting? 15 minutes for this project that's 193 stitches by 251. 15 minutes. So I know there's people that absolutely don't grid. They just think it's time consuming and it's not worth your time. Well, I have a 4-year-old that constantly interrupts me while I'm stitching. I stitch while I'm doing other things. I don't stitch at, like, I don't sit and stitch like in one place all the time. Like, I get up and I do things and then I come back to it, or I, you know, eat dinner and come back to it. So I stitch off and on. So, and I would lose track of where I was for sure. So I like gridding. Plus, I think this is kind of fun to do. So there we go. Easy enough. And these heat erase pens, I think the original set I got was like $8, and then this pack of refills was probably $8 from a different seller. So I will list both of those in the description. I'll list this fabric because I really like this fabric. This is light oatmeal, it's called, I think, and it looks like a linen, but it's Aida. So this is like the 4th project I'm using it for, and I'm gonna get more because I'm almost out. But there we go. So that will be what I'm calling the Death Quaker. That's that. And that's the colors I'll be using, or the color I'll be using. So there we go. Thank you for watching. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. I have lots of floss tubes. I just filmed floss tube number 21. So if this is why you came here to see this, check out my floss tubes too. Thanks for watching. Oh, I forgot to mention I also have a video on how I load my scroll frames. So technically, I usually make this middle line a little longer. There we go. That way, when I go to put it in my scroll rods, I know where the middle is. So I also have how I load my scroll frames. I have a video that I made showing the different things I use while I cross stitch. I got a Lower stand, you know, these heat erase pens. So I've got a couple informational videos if you don't really like Flosstube. But if you like Flosstube, come check me out and subscribe. There we go. See you next time.